Hey everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be doing another STAMPtember exclusive release, and this is from Reverse Confetti. This is the new Fa La La Trees, and it is a fantastic no coloring stamp set. So here is that stamp set, and as you can see, we've got some great trees here, some sentiments, some stars. Yeah, it's a fabulous, fabulous stamp set. So I created two cards for you today. One is a slimline and one is an A2. So as soon as I saw that striped tree, I knew I wanted to do red stripes because of course it's Christmas and I just love a good red stripe. So I'm going to start in the center of my piece here that is 8.5 by 3.5. I do trim it down a little bit after this is done, but I'm starting in the center and I'm using Simon Says Stamps Cherry ink. I'm also going to be using watermelon and guava. So it's in there, the little line of the three colors that you get together. So that's the colors here. So I'm going to be doing watermelon on both sides of the cherry and then guava on both sides of the watermelon. So that's why I'm going to stamp these up, just doing it quick and simple. Then I'm going to use LIMELICIOUS for the stems here. Now there is an outline stamp that I thought would be great to use with this card particularly. I did not use it on the next card, but I am going to use it for this, and we'll do some gold embossing. Now also, you guys, hang on to the end because I get a lot of questions on how I lay down my sequence and things like that. So I'm going to share that a little bit. I've shared it before in another video, but I'm going to share it again because I think sometimes seeing it on multiple cards is really, really helpful. Okay, so now I have all my little tree trunks on there, and I've done one of the, on the left, I've done one of the trees, and I'm going to do the second tree. I do all of them. I'm just not going to do all of them on camera. So I'm prepping that with my powder tool, inking it up with clear ink. I'm using Honeybee Stamps clear ink, and then I'm going to sprinkle on my gold embossing powder and then heat that with my heat tool until it's shiny and melted. And I preheat my heat tool every time I'm going to emboss, so it is nice and hot. Okay, so back in the Misty, now I've got the sentiment, and this sentiment says, "May the joys of the season be with you always." I'm centering that towards the top of the card. I mean, it's kind of centered, but more towards the top, and it's going to be over that center tree in the middle. This would be cute rainbow order. This would be cute with different colors of greens, different colors of blues. I mean, you could do just all, I mean, I think it's kind of endless with this kind of no coloring stamp set. I think it makes it really easy to create quick cards. I will say this one took a little bit longer because I did so many trees and I also did heat embossing, but it is so worth it. But as you can see, that heat embossing went over the lines just fine. That sentiment went over the tree lines just fine. Okay, I've got some surf ink from Simon Says Stamp. I am stamping on my A2 card base. I do trim this one down a little bit. I am not going to use the tree trunk on this. I'm actually going to use two sentiments from the stamp set. This longer sentiment I'm going to use as the grounding effect for the tree. So I'm going to have this butt up right next to the tree. This one says, "Merry Christmas to you and yours." And then the large sentiment says, "Merry and bright." We're also going to do some heat embossing with gold. Obviously, you guys can do any color, kind of coloring you want. And we're going to do some stenciling over this. So I'm going to show you how I did that and how I made sure to, you know, it's really simple, but to not cover up the sentiment too much. I wanted to be able to read everything. Okay, so I removed the larger sentiment. I want to stamp this little one first to make sure I just don't get any interruptions. I prepped it with my powder tool, used clear ink, sprinkled on my gold embossing powder. This is Princess Gold embossing powder from Ranger Ink. I'm going to put that back in my Misty, bring in that large sentiment. This says "Merry and Bright." And there's also another large sentiment that's like fa la 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 la, lots of la-las on there. So some really awesome sentiments. And then another like smaller sentiment in the stamp set. Okay, so I'm going to heat that until it's melted. Then I want to use my mini stencil mat from Waffle Flower. This is this stencil. There's a two-piece stencil. This is from the Greetery. It's a Snowflake Stencil. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll have that listed and linked for you below along with everything else. And I'm going to use grit paste, a stress grit paste. I love this for snowflakes because it's fluffy. Now, I was adjusting my stencil. I did not want any big snowflakes over my sentiments. I didn't mind little dots of snowflakes, but I just was kind of eyeballing and making sure that all of my sentiments can be easily read. So just when you're doing that, pay attention to that because I did want this to come all the way down to pretty much the bottom of the card. Then when I peel this up, you're going to see all the cute snowflakes, and definitely go wash this immediately because it will get hard. But see how beautiful that is? Okay, I adhered both of my panels on card bases, and here is how I'm going to be doing some of my sequins. Both of these card bases are white. The Slimline is 8.5 by 3.5. This is an A2 sized. I'm starting with some gold foil confetti that I'm just adding actually to the centers of all of my snowflakes. But on the left there's an open spot and not a large snowflake to put it on. And it was driving me nuts. It felt really right side heavy. So I just decided to put one on the side. And even though it's not on a snowflake, it's not going to matter because visually, and you guys will see it as soon as I put it on here, you're going to go, oh, that's so much better. Look at that. It like totally changed that card. Okay, so here's for the next one. I'm using Trinity Stamps Golden Stars. And this is where I kind of go in trios. I like to do 3s. Sometimes I do 2s. It just depends on if I'm going to make it a triangle with another area. So when you're laying down sequence, you kind of want to go in triangles if you can, but they can be kind of far apart. They can be close together. So you'll kind of see that one there was further apart than the first one that I did. I'm going to lay 2 down here. I have 2 on the right side at the top, but I'm going to put another star right there. And now that makes a triangle on the top right. And then those 2 on that second tree from the right makes one towards the bottom right. So as you can see, the triangles kind of come together, and you'll know because it'll be pleasing to the eye when you lay them down. So I'm just going to glue those down with my Barely Art liquid glue. And I love these little gold stars all over this background. And I'm not really a stars person, but I think it totally fits with this card. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, share, hit the notification bell so you do not miss a video. I appreciate all of your support. I am so excited for STAMPtember, so happy to be a part of it again with this exclusive. So definitely grab one while you can because this is a really fantastic stamp set. I think you could mass produce with this super, super easy. And yeah, so anyways, you guys have a wonderful night shopping, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.